I like this neighborhood. There's a park nearby, it's quiet, and Pete seems to like it too. Hi.
You Kurt?
Yes, I am.
Huh. Who's this?
This is Pete.
Oh, hi, Pete. Aren't you a good boy? Are you and Pete roommates?
Yep, we sure are.
Oh, I thought the ad was clear we don't allow pets.
Pete is a companion animal. He helps with my disability.
Oh. You don't look handicapped. How are you disabled?
This isn't good. My disability isn't physical, and I don't have to tell her any more about it. I know my rights. Well, I'd like to explain how it works.
I mean, if it's not a seeing eye dog or a dog that helps out with wheelchairs, then I really don't have to allow pets.
Well, he's not a pet. My doctor recommended that I get...
Do you have a service license for Pete or a training certificate or anything like that?
Service animals can have specific licenses and training. The thing is, under the law, service and companion animals don't have to have either one. Christine, if you let me explain,
I'm so sorry, Kurt. I would love to have you as a tenant, but I can't allow dogs living here. If I let you do it, then I have to let everybody else do it. I'm sorry.
I don't think she's doing this on purpose, but she's breaking the law. I think I'm going to have someone help me figure this out and what to do next. Come on, Pete.
One of the most misunderstood concepts for private landlords and even public housing and Section 8 landlords is this concept of a companion animal. The Fair Housing Act takes the rights of the disabled very seriously. And one of the reasonable accommodations that you can ask as a tenant with a disability is the presence in your dwelling of an animal. This does not have to be a service animal with a license. It does not have to be because you suffer from blindness or seizures. If you have documentation from your doctor that states that you have a disability or you have an issue and this companion animal can help you enjoy your dwelling or your common space or your public setting, then that is all you need to ask your landlord for the presence and permission of a companion animal. A lot of private landlords, personally, I don't think they mean to deny you this right. I think they just don't know the law.
In terms of service animals or companion animals, they fit the category of reasonable accommodation. The key word is reasonable. You are just simply asking for a simple change in the policy or the way that they do business in order for you to enjoy equal opportunity of that housing and cope with that certain or particular disability.
I just love my reserved parking spot. It makes trips to appointments in the doctor's office so much easier. Once we sat down and talked it all through, Michelle was able to see how little I was really asking for. I don't think she knew the law. The fair housing people call it reasonable accommodations. Reasonable is the key word. As long as what I'm asking for isn't the moon and it has to do with my disability, the landlord has to help. They're even installing grab bars in my bathroom. Oh, and Michelle says when my lease is up for renewal, she'll bring it here so I don't have to go to her office. They're such little things, but they help so much. The one thing they couldn't help me with was access to the laundry. It's in the basement, and I struggled with all those stairs. Well, it was unreasonable to ask them to move the laundry or install an elevator. So for now, I'm using the laundromat. But they did agree to send someone to look at installing washer and dryer hookups in my apartment, as long as I was willing to cover the cost. Now that seemed reasonable to me.
A tenant asking for access to a public services within a housing building, it's completely reasonable, especially if it's somebody who suffers a disability. talking about reasonable accommodations. Sometimes we do not know what that keyword reasonable would mean. So it is very, very, very useful if you would talk to your landlord or your housing provider and try to get an agreement. If it's a simple change in policy or the way that they do business in order to accommodate for you and enjoy the services of the building, that'll be perfect. If it's maybe something that will be require an investment or maybe a higher cost in order for you to have access to those services, sometimes the landlords are not required to pay for those accommodations. So if in doubt, make sure that you contact one of the qualified organizations, and we will be more than glad to help you to figure out what would be a reasonable accommodation and how we can work it out between both landlord and tenant.